Remember, Ben, check your ages as well.
Fuck you. Right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Square Eye Syndrome TV podcast. I am Ben Gilman. As always, it is good to see you. I hope you are well. This is the best TV podcast in the land, says I. And I'm just going to shut this window because I'm coughing on someone's burning something outside my house. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. He's back. He's 2-0 now. He's doing a Gilberg. It's Tom Hill.
Hey.
And, you know, we've had complaints about last week where people were masturbating to what Troy Salmon said in his weird dream. It's Troy Salmon.
Hi, guys. Hey.
All the perverts
dream
came
was
out
crazy.
last week for you. I don't know if we can read some emails because it would be disgusting.
Oh, damn.
Okay. How are we all doing?
That sounds
anyway?
interesting to me. Sounds interesting.
Please tell me it's not as fucked up as it was last week. It was a pretty special moment last week.
Oh, man. That show is everything that you want it to be. Trust me. That show, love. Woo! Brand new Cherry Flavor is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if it was, if we ever did a best of the best funny moments from Syndrome, that pick would be up there. Freaking everyone out.
Alex's face, that was so funny.
Yeah, we're not doing video this week, so I can't see your faces, which is cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
It's old school.
Thanks, man.
No, thank you both. It's good. I can just look at a blank screen.
We're going back to the old school guys. Old school, no faces.
I'm ugly, so don't worry. You guys are much more handsome than I am. Anyway, we're back. It's all good. We've got something to talk about. In 2 weeks, we're doing a Sherlock special. I'm doing it now because you know what I'm like. I always forget to plug everything at the end. I'm just going to put the Sherlock special in case somebody decides I'm going to skip to the end. I'm going to do it here and now. The chances are you're most probably listening.
We will mention it again at the end, though.
Yes. 2 weeks' time, we were kind of scratching around because when Tom was away, me and Troy put together Naruto for September. Then we realized that's a shit show and it would be terrible. So we scrapped it. So we're going to do Sherlock. Tom, and Troy have all seen it. You know we have strong opinions on Sherlock, but we'll go through every case in 2 weeks. It's going to be a fun time.
Indeed.
I'm going to spend 90% of it cooning over how awesome Sherlock's hair is. Anyway.
You do you, Ben.
Yeah, you do you, Ben. You do you.
I've already forgotten his name. Benedict
Cumberbatch. Are you basically telling us that you're a cummer bitch then, Ben?
Ben is a dick. Ben is a dick Cumberbatch. But Ben is a bitch. I think he's just he's a good actor. I rate him very highly.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic actor. Imitation Game. That is a film nobody talks about. World War II code breaker. That's a great film. He's great in Doctor Strange. He's a good Doctor Strange guy. He's just a good actor.
Have you seen the trailer for the latest Spider-Man film?
Yeah, I'm a bit annoyed that
he's heavily in that.
Yeah. There is a leaked trailer. There is a very weird thing.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't want to see it.
There is a leaked trailer that definitely confirms what we know, that the other Spider-Men are there. But they didn't show the teaser.
We don't know about the others. We know about Alfred Molina, definitely.
Yeah,
and we definitely know that William Shatner is. No, William Dafoe.
William Shatner.
Spider-Man. I can't do a William Shatner impression. I'm not even going to do it.
Wow.
That would be quite an interesting choice. William Shatner being
Green Goblin.
But
Peter,
I can confirm there's definitely Electro, there's definitely Sandman in that teaser trailer. That's been officially released. It officially teaser trailer, but there's no sign of the other Spider-Man like there was in the leak trailer. So that's a bit weird. But hey, it's going to be cool, I think. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's basically playing with the multiverse, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's all Peter Parker's fault. So Bad Boy.
Ah,
It's going to be fun. I think because of Troy, I've started to watch a lot of the Marvel stuff again. I'm going back to Disney Plus to watch Loki now. I'm kind of enjoying the different tastes of it. I just think there's too much this year due to COVID. We're getting all the films. We got 4 films this year because of the backlog. It feels like there's a lot of Marvel stuff, but I'm beginning to get excited again. Just needing a break.
Marvel do a good job.
They do, and I'm looking forward to watching Loki when I get Disney Plus back in next week because I've got to do some research for House of Animation because we've got the rest of the year lined up now. So I need to watch certain films for a month. So I'm going to run across and watch Loki and What If.
Nice.
But spoilers, that's not a pick this week. But yeah. Anyway, let's get to the picks. Okay, who's going? I'm going first. Fuck both of you. I'm going first.
Go.
I'm going to talk about Robot Wars.
Okay.
Do you guys remember this on BBC Two?
Are we talking about Robot Wars hosted by Craig Charles or by Dara O'Brien? Or both?
We can talk about both.
Oh. Robot Wars.
Robot Wars. We'll talk about the Craig Charles one first. When I first saw this show, it's basically, you know what Robot Wars is. People build machines, and then there's other robots built by the studio. They all beat the shit out of each other. It's beautiful. That is simple.
It's the names of the robots that I used to love. That was the thing. Was Sir Kill-A-Lot not one of them?
Oh, he was a big beefy boy. Nightmare.
Sergeant Bash and all those others.
Yeah.
Basic joke.
Shunt. No, that's my favorite one. Shunt.
It does exactly what it says on the tin.
Yes.
House robots.
Yeah.
So there was Matilda. That was the Stegosaurus looking thing.
Oh yeah, Matilda.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Matilda. Yeah.
That's a beautiful design. Sergeant Bash is a masturbation joke. Sir Kill-A-Lot, Mr. Psycho, Growl Up, that's a vagina joke, and Cassius Chrome.
Oh my gosh.
Fair
Them names were amazing.
So
go on, man.
So I mean, I do love. There's so many seasons. Dead Metal is another one.
Dead Metal, yeah.
I don't remember this. Sentinel.
Yeah, I remember Sentinel.
Yeah.
I need to watch this. Shove and Dozer.
I don't remember that.
I remember that. Yeah.
That sounds more like a character from The Matrix.
They were used to push defeated competitors out the arena at the end of battles, so they were never seen. They basically cleaned up drop zone debris.
So basically, they're the heavy metal equivalents of those little hoovers you get that go out on their own, and sweep around and go back in again.
Yeah, basically.
Did you know Dead Metal was female, by the way?
Did not know that.
Yeah, she's got a vagina.
Wasn't sure that a robot had a sexual sexuality. But there you go.
Lovely. So, what I just wanted to talk about the commentator Jonathan Bollocks.
Price.
Jonathan Price.
Yes.
Like a very excitable man. Jonathan Price. He used to be
Jonathan Pierce, not Price. Sorry.
Pierce. He used to do Channel 5 football. He used to be really cheesy with what he used to say.
Yeah, he still does BBC One football.
Now he's a lot more conservative. Now he's sold out to the man.
He's still a pain in the ass as a commentator, though.
And he used to do some dreadful puns. I remember when Chelsea win Tromsø for the Cup Winners' Cup on Channel 5. It's no snow joke in Norway or something.
Yeah, them lines. Oh.
Like awful puns. But
his over the top commentary worked perfectly for Robot Wars. Let's be fair.
Yeah,
it suited Robot.
It did suit
Robot Wars. Yeah. I mean, question for you. I'm a big fan of Dara O'Brien. I'm a big fan of Craig Charles. I love both of them and what they've done away from Robot Wars. Did you not find that it became a little bit too technical in the series? Once it was brought back with Dara O'Brien, there was a lot more focus on sort of the mechanics rather than just the violence. And I always thought the
Yeah,
violence.
I love Daniel Bryan
I'm with
because
you.
he brings his passion into whatever he does. There's a video game show where he's just, it's not, he's such a geek person. And I love that about him because he brings a sense of excitement to everything.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I love his passion, but it became a lot more about what was going on behind the scenes rather than the battles, I thought, when they rebooted it with him.
When they first started with it, I did like the bit where you saw them fixing up a broken down robot, and it was interesting to see.
Yeah, every kid loved that.
Was it Jenna Pippa something? The thing for the dads.
Pippa Forster, wasn't it?
Yeah, they basically had her be the eye candy for the dads.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but it was always fun, and watching people try and talk to the camera who obviously not TV people. It's quite funny.
Yeah, some people just hide in the back.
Just normal people who don't want a camera in their face.
Yeah,
it's like watching Games Master sometimes. It's like, so what do you? It's like, you know, microphone. I got nothing to say. Jeremy Clarkson.
Or they wouldn't say anything, and they'll be like, "Yeah, he's busy. He's busy fixing his."
Jeremy Clarkson at one point was a host.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
But that kind of made sense because of Top Gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The logic was there.
He's still a cunt. But like, I mean, I just loved how stupid it was. I just loved how it felt. What do you say? The one with the Sergeant Bash was the one with the flamethrower, wasn't he?
Was it so
I don't remember well enough.
No, he had a big old forklift or something. He had a big old fork thing on his.
No, it was the flamethrower. You're right. It's the flamethrower.
Sir Kellerlight is the big looking motherfucker. Matilda is the Triceratops who can flip people, and I don't know what the other one was.
Shunt, yeah, shunt, all them shunt. Shunting.
Or cunts. Some people used to.
Shunt was there. They had the mini axes. Shunt had the mini axes at the side. Shunt was epic. The pickaxes, loved it, man. Epic, bro. Shunt did pure carnage. I loved it. Shunt my robot, bro. Go on, Shunt. Let's go. Put in work.
They beefed him up for later seasons. Who's your favorite commentator? Because like we've had Mick Foley.
Mick Foley, when?
Mick Foley was
I was wondering what you said because I thought you said Dom. Was it Mick Foley? You said.
When the hell was Mick Foley?
Mick Foley.
What was? Hold on, I'm just doing my research here. I think it might have been the American version.
I think it probably was.
You about to say? I was like, what?
I think both Troy and I would have remembered it.
Yeah, for sure.
It was America. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I would remember that for damn sure.
CM Punk's everywhere now. But like, it's just a good show, and I loved like the little mechanical bits. I get a hard on over sexy wiring, like mechanical stuff. I love that stuff. That is beautiful to me. Like, you know, seeing people fix stuff, it's interesting to me. Definitely interesting. And who doesn't like to see robots beat the shit out of each other with pickaxes? I mean, it reminds me of that Spaced episode that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, Troy.
Oh yeah, the same episode. Yeah.
You know, it's just ridiculousness, and it's violent. It's brilliant. And
I actually created a concept for a robot wars one time as well when I was really young. And I almost finished it, and I just never brought it onto the show.
Did someone come and bully you at school and take your idea and put it on TV?
To my idea, no. I literally got it somewhere. I literally threw it away. I don't know what happened to it. That was a great concept as well.
Someone stole that and it became Robot Wars, mate. Tough luck.
Not the show. I meant like an actual robot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I forgot to say you're claiming you.
No, not the show. But I'll be extra angry about that. I'll be ranting right now. I'll be like, "Did someone took my idea about robot?" I'll be going mad. But yeah.
I'm rich, really. So,
yeah.
I'm not living with my mum. She's living with me.
I'll be loving it.
Anyway, I work to Ben just to give back to the community. I'm a millionaire, really. No.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's on YouTube. All of it. So I'm gonna go back and get nostalgic about it later. Again. But it's a show that I've watched again recently, and it just reminds me of the 90s. And I know I go back to shows from my past a lot if I don't have anything to talk about. But it's a good show, and who doesn't like to see two big robots beating the shit out of each other with a pickaxe?
Exactly.
Come on. It's a boy show.
Yeah.
Lovely. I want to quickly talk about Ghost season 3. I know we talked about it last week, but I have now finished it.
No, go for it, man. That's the whole point of this thing.
I'm glad that we've now got all the backstories of all the ghosts now, nearly.
Have we got everyone's?
Nearly. I don't think the Grey Lady's had hers yet, and I think
I thought we had hers in like the first season.
We did. I forgot
falling
about
out the window.
So we're just waiting on the caveman.
Yeah.
Yeah. It felt like it's the end though. The last shot felt like they were wrapping it all up in a nice.
I think they've probably been put up for another season. I'd have thought.
I hope so, because it's not. It's far from finished. I think because, like, we were talking off camera, Inside Number 9 and Ghosts. I don't see. We were joking about Inside Number 9 when we can do a special, and you were laughing and gone about 4 or 5 years. It could be a long time before we get to Inside Number 9. The BBC have been very good now. They're not cancelling things too quickly. Like, there's a lot of good comedy shows like Ladhood, which is set in Leeds in the 90s. I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen enough to know it's funny. They're looking after their comedy shows at the moment, the BBC. They're doing some good stuff.
Yeah, with Ghosts, it's obviously down to whether the writers want to do more of it, because the people who play all the ghosts are the writing team.
Well, I think they've given themselves some room. If you put guests in, I think it would keep it fresh again for season 4. If they're going to open up as a hotel, I think there's enough laughter.
Absolutely.
Easily. That gives you more seasons, I think.
Yeah, so it's up. Thing is, the guys who are like the team behind Ghosts, they very rarely do anything that doesn't hit like a good note. They come in, do their stuff, and they get out while the going's still good. So theoretically, they could end it at season 3, knowing that it would be remembered as an excellent show, with no real fat on it at all.
It makes me happy there's a fan base for it, though. It's a mainstream hit.
True. No, I absolutely love it. Like, that's why I brought it up last week. It's brilliant.
And like my wife got it right about the sister. I wasn't too sure about. Like, I love the fact they had to throw the head, because you see them running after, and then you're like, how did she know? And then there's some great. The head gets a bit more time, like football kickabout. I love the fact the Grey Lady is a Murder, She Wrote fan.
Yeah, same here.
And Troy, have you seen it?
Murder, She Wrote. I've only seen a couple episodes. I've never watched it fully.
Okay, so I'm going to be very careful. I'm not spoiling anything, but there's a great bit with the laptop, the ghost interacting with the boyfriend more. Is really funny.
I forgot about that.
That's brilliant. I love the fact, like, my wife has pointed out, Julian and the caveman are like good mates. I love their relationship. And I love the fact that Julian is spending time with the boyfriend for the cameras to film.
Yeah.
And I want the boyfriend to try and interact more, and he's doing that. I love the fact he can't see them.
Yeah. No.
I love this show so much. Well. I did laugh my arse off at the laptop.
I mean, it's a great concept.
Yeah, it was very, very, the laptop thing. I mean, you'll guess, Troy, from the fact that as soon as he mentioned the laptop, I started laughing my head off. It was, quality scenes.
Oh, man, that would be funny, bro.
I mean, for me, the logic would be the way you end Ghosts is either he starts seeing them as well. They both end up dying, or she gets hit on the head again and can't see them anymore. That's your logical 3 ways of ending that show.
I would like to see the ghosts. I think it'd be even funnier.
That would be. But I mean, the easiest way to kind of go, we are now killing this, is she can't see them anymore. Is probably the easiest way to do it.
Because it's the thing that makes it. Because she's always talking to herself.
Yeah,
and
precisely.
Funny.
But it's the way you can kill that show if you want to, is by saying, oh no, she's now hit her head again and can't see the ghosts anymore.
I mean, you could have her unhit her head. They both hit their heads. He now sees them. She doesn't. You could roll with a flip back.
Yeah, I think that people would just feel that all they were doing was changing the character around and then doing the exact same things again.
But I like the fact that they're trying to get him to interact more. And like, there's a scene where they use the same actors for Kitty's flashback, and it was so nice to see him interacting with the other actors because normally he has to pretend they're not there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm just saying that if they do end the show, that would be logically the 3 ways they could do it.
I love. Also, I just want to say the Grey Lady's romantic obsession with the headless ghost was funny. And you wonder what the fuck was going on. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
The headless ghost being used as a football is funny. It's the best comedy the BBC have outside of Inside Number 9 right now. It's our best comedy.
I think I'd agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, it's not even dirty. It's just well written, and this is from the guys
it's
who
just funny. It's clean humor.
And I love. I also there was something that I like the fact that they try and do things together to entertain themselves, like workshops and stuff in the spare time. They're not always annoying. Helen, that's her name, all the time. They're just kind of doing their own things as well, and that's great. That's great. I just love this show so much, and I love the show. I got to finish off. You need to go watch it. It's far from running out of steam.
The close. I'm just sorry. Just thinking about the fact that you're saying it's a very clean show, which it is. I mean, the closest they seem to ever have got to being kind of dirty was the scout leader's obsession with her dunking the biscuit. It was like literally kind of making sexual noises every time she dunked the biscuit and then going, dunk it again and again.
The camping scenes. Oh my god, they all came with her. That was funny.
I say, Troy, you have to watch it.
Troy's laughing. He hasn't even seen the fucking.
Exactly.
That's what I love about it.
Trust me, you got to see it.
She goes because it's brilliant because obviously they're getting rid of all the termites inside of the house, ready to open it up as a hotel. Yeah. I'm ready to see guests in that hotel now. You've done it for 3 seasons. It's time to show it. But I love how the one with the plague is like, spooky man and all this. It's really funny, like a horror movie. Like when they're gassing the place. It's just really, 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 really good.
Hype.
You need to go watch it, Troy. It's fantastic.
You need to watch this, Troy.
It's set in one building and it just is not boring. You would think by now lesser writers would have run out of steam a long time ago.
Yeah.
And since they know each other so well, because like I said, they write horrible histories together. Like, it's why it sings so well.
Oh my god! Trust me, I'm gonna finish off.
I'm gonna do it. She's my female David Tennant right now. Every time she's in something, I go watch it. She's my female David Tennant, so she's really good, and she's hot. So there we go. So that's my pick.
All right.
Go on.
So go watch it. That's Raw in season 4. Definitely gonna get a 4th season.
You hope so, yeah.
I think it does. A lot of people seem to be talking about it, which tells me people are watching it.
Yeah. No, it's a popular show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've seen the ratings.
More advertised. So, yeah, I think it will get picked up. Right. Which one of you lovely lads would like to go next?
That's up to you. Tom, where do you want to go?
I'm happy to go next.
Okay. Well, let Tom wants to go.
We'll end it with the best with Troy.
Oh, come on.
Okay, so both of my picks today are going to annoy the living crap out of Ben and most of our audience, but you know what? Fuck it, I don't care.
Oh, damn, okay.
I'm going to the toilet while you talk about WWE and AEW.
I wasn't going to talk about WWE at all.
No, he's not.
I was going to talk about AEW Rampage.
I'll be back. Jacked up to the toilet while I piddle to tell you what I think of it, but I'm not that disgusting.
Seriously, I try not to talk about wrestling shows too much, but this week it kind of transcended the world of wrestling. I'm sure most people are aware of the fact that one of the biggest returns to professional wrestling occurred on AEW Rampage this week, and it's just that, like, the first 15 minutes of that show was just heaven for me as a wrestling fan. who was a massive fan of CM Punk, it was everything I could have dreamed of and more.
Glorious.
As well as afterwards being followed up by some quality wrestling. So I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to piss the fan base off too much, but if you have any connection to wrestling, or if you've given up on wrestling because you thought it's gone shit 4 or 5 years ago, just go and watch this man's entrance and promo. And that's all you have to do. I guarantee you will be moved by it if you have any connection to wrestling. Over to you two boys. What do you think?
Yes, that was a glorious occasion. And I was like, oh my days. I actually put it on my YouTube channel. I literally recorded the moment it happened. I was like, oh my gosh. The crowd are going crazy. People are crying.
Just when he crowd surfs as well. That's fucking
yes, man jumped to the crowd and the security's like, oh snap, oh snap. They thought he lost. They thought they lost him. CM Punk coming back.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Everyone thought that he hated wrestling, but he just hated that company.
Exactly.
You could see it in his face that he actually was moved.
Yes.
By the reaction he was getting.
Even in the promo, he was like, 10 years ago, I left professional wrestling because he doesn't class WWE as wrestling.
Yeah. August 13th, 2005, I left professional wrestling. 20th of August, 2021, I'm back.
Exactly. Perfect.
Yeah. But at no point does he actually mention WWE. He doesn't shit on them or anything.
Exactly.
He makes a couple of comments about how he left professional wrestling when he left Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Now, he could easily spin that saying, well, WWE called themselves sports entertainers. I'm offending nobody. But he quite specifically didn't actually insult anybody.
Exactly.
Because he could have easily made that an I hate the WWE promo.
Yeah, he's basically saying read between the lines. That's basically what he said.
He's saying read between the lines, but he's not actually shitting on WWE.
Exactly. He's actually like purposely going out and saying it, yeah.
He's making a point of not doing that because everyone will go, oh, it's cheap heat on WWE. Well,
yeah. I like the fact he said, I was stopped being a professional wrestler in 2005. I'm now a professional wrestler again. That's really good. Right, I'm done. Yeah. I'm going back to reading.
But yes.
So my apologies, Ben, for bringing up a wrestling show, but I figured I'd go second so that Troy couldn't beat me to it.
Hey, it had to be done because I was going to say the same thing.
I know. That's why I wanted to go second.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to pick it, and that's fine. That's why I brought a book today, just in case, because I knew you guys were going to talk about CM Punk, because it is exciting.
Yeah. I mean, I don't usually bring up wrestling as like a thing unless somebody else brings it up.
I would implore anyone that isn't a wrestling fan, if you think wrestling is gay or whatever, go watch AEW. It's fun. It doesn't do your intelligence bad. It's much better than WWE right now. It's booked and it doesn't shit on the fans.
It's awesome.
Go watch it. You get payoffs. It is worth it.
You get long-term booking and payoffs.
You have to watch 4 programs a week, but it is worth watching the whole roster. There's such variety.
Plus BTE as well. Sammy's blog.
It's refreshing. Don't watch BTE.
Plus being the elite on YouTube as well.
Exactly, yeah.
It's brilliant.
Anyway, right. So moving on, getting away from the wrestling game.
See, Troy, that's how you do it quickly.
Oh, here we go.
Well, I say moving on from the wrestling game to a TV show about wrestling called Heels.
Oh, I have not seen this.
There we go. Okay, I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, tell me about it.
Right, Tom is in his pants. I'm trying the description. Tom is wearing spandex.
Stop it.
Tom has got a big hard-on in his spandex.
No, we are not going with that as we're fucking lying. Sorry.
Tom is got the sweaty men.
Oh, God's sake.
No, Tom wants ice cream bars. Tom wants a ice cream bar.
That I'm cooler with, but let's
I'm doing it now.
We will talk about it then. Right, so Heels is a new TV show. In the UK, it's on Amazon Prime under the Stars bit.
Yeah.
So if you probably need to have a subscription for it, but it's under Stars. It's the Stars Steve Amell, who probably people know from Arrow and a number of other things, playing a guy who owns his own professional wrestling promotion, like a small town wrestling promotion, and he is the heel of the company and the defending champion, and his baby brother is like the star of the show.
Oh, okay.
And it's their relationship, and it's the family relationship, and the fact that they don't have a huge amount of money, and there's another promoter trying to put them out of business, and all of his promos. Obviously, as a wrestling fan, I'm watching it, and all of the promos that they show for like his wrestling show is all 2007 and 2008 TNA. It's 6-sided ring. So I'm looking at it going, oh, there's Abyss and stuff like that. just
Okay.
because I automatically recognise it. Now, I'll be honest, the reason I came across this show is that I heard somebody sarcastically mentioning it in relation to CM Punk because he's on Heels.
Yeah.
He has a cameo as a professional wrestler in this TV show.
Oh, snap.
Hasn't shown up in it yet. I've only seen 2 episodes because only 2 episodes have been released so far.
Yeah.
But it's good if you're a fan of wrestling. It's interesting because it talks a lot about Stephen Amell's character being proper old school about keeping kayfabe at all times.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So him and his brother don't speak to each other in public because one's the main heel and one's the face of the company.
Yeah.
And things like that. So he's like proper old school about the way he does things. And yeah, it's a good show. Even if you're not a fan of wrestling, it's the interrelationships of the family. I mean, the thing that I like about it most is Steve Amell's character is the heel. He's the bad guy of wrestling, but his brother in reality is a dickhead, and he's the good guy in reality. And the actual people outside of the ring, his brother is a born heel, absolute arsehole to everybody, and Steve Amell is like the nicest guy in town.
Okay,
And
so they basically switch
it's
roles.
really, it's really interesting that somehow they've
second
come
best
that.
celebrity wrestler after Bad Bunny and Pat McAfee. Third best.
Well, Pat McAfee is a weird one because he kind of became a full-time wrestler for a while, so he kind of transcends ever so slightly. But I would agree, Steve Amell and Bad Bunny for me are on a level.
Suck it, Lawrence Taylor.
Hey, look, Lawrence Taylor did all right in WrestleMania 11, but he had one of the best wrestlers to guide him through the thing that he could possibly have asked for. So, anyway, that's not the point. So yeah, it deals a lot with like family dynamics and that kind of stuff, whilst having a background of being a pro wrestling show, which obviously appeals to me. But you don't have to be a wrestling fan to enjoy it. But I think as a wrestling fan, you will enjoy it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've only seen 2 episodes. I think there's only 5 episodes done in the first season. I could be wrong on that though. And yeah, I think there's 5 or 6 episodes, but maybe there'll be more. But yeah. It's just come out. It's new. It's on weekly, and I will probably give you an update in 3 or 4 weeks on it when we get closer to the end of the season and we see where it goes. But yeah, it's Stephen Amell's a good actor. The rest of the cast are damn good. CM Punk will be appearing in it at some point, which is always a laugh for wrestling fans. Yeah, there's not much else to say about it, really.
Can I just end this wrestling segment by laughing at Killer Cross and his helmet?
Damn.
We'd like to point out that he means the helmet that he puts onto his skull and not anywhere else.
Yes, exactly. Not that kind of helmet.
We couldn't reach Scarlett for his wife Scarlett about any comments about his penis. Yeah. So. No, but basically, like, you know, he's not that great anyway, so it's fine. He's Killer Cross. Who gives a shit? He's not that great a wrestler anyway. He's just a massive.
Killer Cross is not bad.
Come on. In Impact, he was solid.
Yeah, but Impact's Impact, bruv. Anyway.
And in NXT, he was fucking awesome.
He was decent there.
It's only on the main roster he's been shat on.
He was okay in NXT as well. Anyway, let's get off the wrestling talk before we lose all our subscribers.
Never. All right, okay, so I've already got one today.
That's because I nicked the other one.
One pick. So yeah, that was one of them. Yeah. I was like, damn it, it's gonna drag this out. Okay. So this one, it's a bit of a tough topic. It's a bit of a savage one. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Amazon original. It's called Them. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Who?
It's called Them.
Them.
So it's in the same vein as
Hello?
Get Out or Us.
Sorry, what? Ben?
No, Them. THEM.
Them. Yeah, okay, I thought you said Ben. I was like, hello.
Them. Yeah, it's a TV series. Yeah, so it's like an anthology thing. So this first season's about basically a black family that's set in 1953. And during the second Great Migration, and it moved from North Carolina to Compton, because remember originally Compton was like a all white populated area. So this show, this show has got some supernatural elements in it as well. So I love the horror element. That's why I'm watching this show, to be honest. Love the horror aspect of it. So if you've seen Get Out or Us, and it has those kind of similar vibes to it, stuff like that. So okay, so I'm gonna go into a little backstory on this. So the family that did home slowly transforms into an epicenter of evil forces. So this area that they moved to from North Carolina, which was a savage place anyway, you got the country, the country people, you know what I'm saying, the hillbillies, that kind of area, you know, that part of North Carolina. They see Lucky, who's the main character in the story. She's like the wife of the black household of this family, and she gets attacked by this woman and her kids, a weird ass family. They attack her and they kill their baby son. So that's how they kind of kick off the show, and it kind of kicks in to them moving to Compton, where they're going there. They're gonna have a better life here in this Compton area, where it's most popular about white areas, as I said before. And this woman called Betty, she literally has it out for them. She's like, we can't let these black people live on this street. It's gonna bring the value of the houses down. Stuff like that. You know how it goes. Especially back in the 50s. That was still savage, bro. But the thing is, the thing what I love about this show, it's not your typical racism, stuff like that. So obviously you got all that in there as well. But the thing is that supernatural undertone to this show, because there's a guy called a man in the black hat. He never actually get his proper name until later on in the show. But it's played by, I think you know who it is. Where is he? What's his name? Christopher Heyerdahl. He's anyone seen Van Helsing or what's the show? He's in Supernatural for a bit. Hell on Wheels. I think you know what it is. What's the show that he's in? I think you know what it is. What's the show that is always the opinion that everyone knows? Try to find it. Oh, Sanctuary. Anyone seen Sanctuary here? Or seen an episode of it? Sanctuary, yeah. So he's famous for that. But anyways, he's like this old religious guy from years back. For the show of Flashback, he's a religious guy from years back, and he brought these two black people into his congregation, as it were, into his town. So then the rest of the townspeople are saying, "Oh, no, we can't have these people here because they're gonna bring Great Depression, great evil to this town." And then basically he's praying all the time, every day. You know, he's a preacher. He's a preacher, man. He's praying every day. But at the same time, we didn't know until halfway through the show, we don't know that he's praying to this evil force. This whole time, literally, he's telling him to do these things and warping his mind to these black people who came into the town that he's brought in, and basically made his mind turn evil, burning these people, and then literally cursing this entire land where black people, they can't come here again. So that's where this whole area where it's set in this part of Compton is literally cursed. This whole area is cursed in the show. So then each member of the black family, they have their own like demon. There's a guy, a black guy dressed in blackface. This guy is creepy as heck. I was like, oh my days. This if you haven't seen this show, oh my days, this show so good. If you can get past all the other stuff that's in the show, it's like the horror elements is just on point. I'm a horror fan as well. I'm a horror fan, like literally at heart as well. So I love all types of horror, especially if it's good horror like this. But yeah, have you guys got any thoughts on this so far?
No.
Yeah. Sounds like your usual level of freaky shit, man.
Yeah, this is always stuff happening in this show.
Okay, I'm finishing up the description now, and Troy continues to be a freak.
This show is just so creepy, isn't it? The creepy factor has gone up to another level of the show. Trust me.
Troy continues to be a creepy fuck.
So
that's done.
So literally, this person is following the dad around because he already had mental issues from before because literally they did experiments on him back in the army, back in the military days. He went to help fight the war and the experiments on all these other black people in the war, and this demon, this spirit, is literally on his back all the time. Anytime he gets angry or sees something done to him, he's like, "Come on, man, you're gonna do nothing about it." The shit in his face, the spirit is just like on his face, like, and the tropes in this show, they go for these tropes. And they have a daughter as well. They got an older daughter and a younger daughter. The younger daughter is always seeing this middle-aged teacher, and it's always beating her in her dreams. She was thinking about it for some reason. It's crazy. And the older sister, she wants to literally fit in with all the white population, and she has this best friend, which is following her around. As for some reason, she's befriending her. For some reason, I'm like, this is kind of weird. Why is this girl out of nowhere just befriending her? But you see that throughout the show. You're gonna find out who she is, but I don't want to say too much because I'm gonna spoil too much about it. And you have this, as I said before, Betty. She's literally trying to destroy them, playing music outside at all hours, trying to annoy the family, trying to get them out. She's like, we have to get them out, as I said before. But at the same time, there's this woman who brought them into the actual street. She's got a connection with the law enforcement who literally helps run the town, and the chief, the actual main cop, is literally getting paid off of this, so he's being nice to the black family, saying, "Hey, yeah," because they want all these black people to like move into these towns because apparently the stock has gone up when they're there. People are spending money there, so all of that stuff, all the politics and all that stuff, and the supernatural elements, the stuff that happened back in the day. It's just I was like, what, they intertwined that perfectly. I was like, oh my days. And you got a bit of True Blood in here as well. Ryan Quanten, he's in this as well. He's in this as well, Tom. Don't worry, I didn't forget about you. I didn't forget about you, Tom. There we go. So there's one for Tom. I didn't forget about you guys. So, so he's in this as well. He loves Betty.
Fever dream.
Huh?
You sure this isn't a fever dream? We've got people.
No, this is not me. This is real life. This is real life. So yeah, so Ryan Quentin, he's plays a character called George. He's like the milkman. He comes in there, all the girls swoon over him as you expect. This guy, this flipping guy. But anyways, everything's in his, the woman's always after him. So in this one, he's in love with Betty. So he brings Betty to his house at one point because she goes, "Are you gonna help me, George? Take care of these people and get them off the street." He's like, "Yeah, I'll do anything for you, Betty. I'll do anything for you." So then he brings her to the house. He literally drugs her, ties her up. This guy's a sicko.
Sorry, what?
This guy drugs her, ties her up. He wants to keep her at his house forever. Yeah, he's one of them guys. So he's turned out to be a freak at some point. He's turned to be a sicko, a weirdo. But yeah, he's another great. He's another great character in the show. So yeah, so there's not a bit of True Blood in there as well, and her husband in the show is the guy who took over as Spartacus in the later seasons. So yeah, he's when he took over. He's in the show. He's the husband. So yeah, this is a great show, man. It's got a great ending as well. Build up. The characters are on point. The actors are stellar. The script is sick. I love the script. But yeah, them this year, Prime Video, lit. Yeah, so that's my pick anyways. That's my pick so far today. That's my only pick.
Nice.
Them, check it out.
Okay.
Oh, wait, before I finish, 10 episodes, by the way. 10 episodes, one season.
Nice. Okay. That's cool. Okay. So, I have an email from Adrian from Pittsburgh. No joke. I'm a big fan of your work in Rocky, yo. Adrian! So, okay, move on. If you could commission anything or ban anything from TV, what would you do? This can include anyone, a producer that you hate, or a type of show that you're sick and tired of seeing.
Ooh.
So, what would you ban? I would ban from this podcast Troy talking about witches. I'm fucking sick of it. No, I'm joking.
I banned that Drag Race. Oh my, that RuPaul's Drag Race. My God. My goodness, mate. But in all seriousness,
no, I'm joking. No. What would I ban? I would maybe actually talking to Drag Race. I love it. but there's too much of it now. I would limit it to America and maybe have one in certain countries, but not every country needs a drag race.
Yeah.
Because I love RuPaul's Drag Race, but if you can't get RuPaul, there's no point doing the drag race because it doesn't work without RuPaul. If you've got some second-rate shit hosts, like the Canadian one has awful hosts, like they're not funny. I don't think every country needs a goddamn drag race. Maybe do an international one here and there from around the world once a year, but like I'm scared that I'm already quite burnt out on Drag Race. I know I said last week season 3's back.
Yeah.
But I find British gays are a lot more down to earth, a little bit less shrieky. Australian drag races are very funny. But I would I'd slow down a little bit the amount of drag races that they're doing. Because there seems to be one every week. I turn around, there's another one from another country coming out. And it's just too much RuPaul. It needs to step back a little bit. I mean, still have it, but yeah, you know what I mean? Do you get where I'm coming from? I'm sure a lot of people would agree with me. Some people have said, even big fans of Drag Race have said it's overkill now. There's too much Drag Race. For example. You can easily put Canadians in the American version, for example.
Okay.
Yeah. And stick the Australians in the British one, Commonwealth version. Just keep it down to 2. Not be rude. Just stick the Canadians and the Australians in our version, and then you can do Commonwealth drag race. Then you got the American one.
You have to include the Canadians in that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Canadians and Australians can go in with the Commonwealth, and that's like 2 from 5 to 4, 5 down to 2.
Yeah.
Share it. Why not? I just think it needs to be less drag race. Like
I've finally worked out what I would get rid of.
Yeah.
American companies remaking British fucking shows.
Stop it.
Oh,
Ghosts.
yeah, you got a point. I like that.
I'm really scared for Ghosts because I'm very protective of that show now, like Tom is. I don't want it to be remade.
Occasionally it works, but you look at the list of things they fucked up. They fucked up Coupling, which was a brilliant British show. They fucked up Red Dwarf, which was a brilliant British show.
They fucked up Peep Show twice.
Life on Mars, which was an unfuck-upable fucking...
They can't even get Peep Show right. They fucked up the IT crowd by not making it funny.
They fucked up the IT crowd. They fucked up Peep Show.
In-betweeners.
Yeah, every single show that has been British and made it. I think they even tried to do a version of Fawlty Towers, which they fucked up.
Yeah, they did.
So, I mean, Jesus, get the hint. You can't copy British comedy. Enjoy the British version because you won't make it better.
And I'm not being rude, American TV owners, right? Your American viewers are actually happy to watch the British version. I've never really... A lot of Americans that I read about, they just want to watch the British original. They don't want an American version because they feel it isn't needed. Yeah, so British comedy is very popular in America. Just give them the British version. Like, and I attribute it. We've had emails. I've had a lot of emails the last 18 months of doing this podcast about, can you talk about how you feel about American comedy? Americans doing it, and I'm like, well, I know for a fact most Americans don't want a British American version. They're happy with the British version because guess what? We speak the same language. The lingo might be different, but Americans can kind of get what we're talking about.
Yeah, so that's my thing.
Absolutely,
that's a great pick.
What does Troy want to ban?
What would that ban? Oh, let's see. That's a tough one. What would that ban? I'd ban remakes, to be honest, just remakes in general.
I'm sick of it. Yeah, I'm gonna go off on a deep end of again America because I've watched a lot of horror movies recently. Hollywood, you are the most monarchy bankrupt version. You just keep doing remakes of everything. Just do something new. Like if I have to see another reimagining of Jason or Halloween, just let it die and stop rebooting everything and do some new shit. Stop repeating yourself. You're boring. Um,
The amount of reboots that's coming out this year, next year is insane.
I mean,
Oh yeah, like what?
Flipping, you got a Hellraiser reboot coming out. You got a flipping Chucky version coming out, new one, and another one.
there's anymore. I think everyone's more interested in the new horror films, like that are new franchises. I mean, Friday the 13th, dead. I mean, the Halloween stuff after this trilogy, I don't want to see it again.
They're even rebooting Gossip Girl.
But you know what I mean? You don't need to reboot it. Like
No,
they're already talking about rebooting. What was that I saw the other day? They want to reboot something, and I got really angry. Paranormal Activity. It's like you don't need to repeat.
Oh my, I heard about that as well.
You
Yeah, I heard about that.
just done the storyline. Do a new one. But for God's sake, it's like you don't need to do 7, 8, 9 films. Horror is the worst thing for this rebooting shit because I've seen Black Christmas. Now, you guys are horror fans, and there is like, you know, Black Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah.
The original.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely terrifying. Like, really good, creepy. Have you seen the 2018 version?
Nope, I don't want to see it.
Don't watch it. It's all about how men are evil, women are at best, and like all men are rapists.
Yeah,
Now, it's awful. It's like the worst signaling in the world. So, like, don't keep doing reboots if you're going to do them badly. Do something new because the original will always be better. That's my opinion. I'm sorry, I agree with both of you on your picks.
No, cool.
Okay, what would you bring? More original ideas to TV. I wouldn't keep relying on comic books. I wouldn't keep doing any more superhero stuff though, because we are reaching mass peak superheroes now. Like like go to independent comics. Like go do those shows. No more superhero shows. Because you see Netflix are beginning to pick up Sweet Tooth, The Boys on Amazon. Go pick up the indie stuff from Image and Dark Horse and Vertigo and Sandman and stuff.
Yeah,
Don't give me any more superhero shows because my eyes are turning in now. I'm bored. Give me the best of those independent comics because they are a million great idea shows that you can bust out that are all different from each other. Give me that.
Yeah, it's tons. Okay, what would that bring? I think what that bring. I'd say. Let's see. I'd say more. I'd say let's have more. Basically, Cobra Kai type shows. Literally half an hour each episode. I'm good with that.
I'm coming to that this weekend.
Some more half an hour episodes. Literally just short episodes. No, some shows you don't need an hour each episode. To be honest, so short and sweet sometimes. So I'm more into that right now.
What would I bring?
Short
episodes. I'm gonna get myself in trouble here.
Oh my gosh, what is he saying?
But I don't mean it in any kind of negative way. I would like to point out I'm just sick and tired of this. I would like to see faithful adaptations of books and TV shows.
Like, okay, faithful adaptations.
Because the thing that is the fucking vogue of the last couple of years is to make everything, no matter how long ago it was written, woke and noticeable about sexual things and all that kind of stuff, not taking into account the history of when the things were fucking written and set. I'm sorry, but there were different standards at different times in history, and you can't rewrite those stories. If you're going to do an adaptation of something that was set 500 years ago, you have to go with the morality of 500 years
ago. Yes.
Me and Trev said this a lot where you were away. Actually, we've had a chat about the PC culture bullshit now. Culture. I'm done with it now because
all I'm saying is if you're going to do an adaptation of a book of a story, you can't suddenly decide that everything that was written in that book now just disappears because we're in the 21st century and we have to be woke and understanding of everything. I'm sorry, but you don't need it, and I'm not shitting on anybody, and anything that's written currently has to accept that we live in this society. So anything that you're doing now, so if you're adapting a book right now that's set in the last few years, to do that is perfectly reasonable. But to do it, to set modern standards on something that is hundreds of years old, just so you can say that you've adapted it to make it relevant to a modern era. Fuck that.
It goes a
I'm
modern day
sorry.
retelling.
Can I
Yeah.
just say something? That again, like the thing is, because like I can talk to Troy, he's a black guy, but we can have proper talks about
Mhm.
PC cancer
Sure.
culture. And Troy,
Sure.
even Troy's kind of gone, it's a bit too much sometimes, you know. Like I always think you should make new characters for anyone. I think diversity going forward is important, and that's great. That's going forwards. You need history to learn from mistakes.
Right.
You can't keep erasing history to not.
Yeah, you can't rewrite history. History is what it was.
Yeah, and it's not great, but
So
you've
here-
got to show that.
All right, Troy, can I get your opinion on something? Because this is going to get me in trouble. I know it is.
Okay.
But I get really frustrated about when they write characters for TV shows and they suddenly decide that it had a historical figure. And I'll give you a perfect example: Anne Boleyn.
Oh, I knew you were gonna go there. Okay, yeah, go on.
That came out recently. Now, don't get me wrong, the woman who played Anne Boleyn was fine. The writing of the show was shit. It was not a good show, but not because of the fact that the main actress was black, because the show was just crap. But Anne Boleyn is a historical figure. There is no way that you can change her ethnicity. Yet, if I were to put on a show about, I can't think of any famous black people off the top of my head, Muhammad Ali, and I made him a fucking ginger white guy, the world would be up in arms at me.
Yeah,
All I'm
that'll be
saying
chaos.
So am I wrong to feel that way?
You are
'Cause
not
I'm
wrong.
just like,
You are not wrong.
and everyone's going to go, oh, you're criticizing it because she's black. No, she's really good actress. I actually like
No,
the actress a lot.
I'm not being rude. It's like making a documentary about Oprah Winfrey and making her white. It would
Perfect.
be-
That's a perfect example. Thank you.
like this is the thing. Like I will fight for, like, you cannot cancel white people. You have to be going forward. You like I've found this a difficult subject. I'm sick and tired of being a white person now because it's tiring. Like,
Yeah,
I'm a guy that is not racist, homophobic or anything. All I'm being told now is I'm an evil white person all
yeah,
the time. By
I agree with you.
And Troy backs us up on it. Like, we want diversity.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Hey,
like,
I'm a person, yeah, that if it makes sense, do it. If it doesn't make sense, don't do it.
absolutely.
That
We're
guy.
not saying don't have peoples of color. I love that. Give that to me. That's why I'm so excited by the internals. That's great. That's humanity. That's beautiful.
Mhm.
I've
Perfect.
no problem Captain America being black because that's fine. You can change up the character. That's fine.
Yeah, that's a character that can change.
Plus,
You
he's
can
in the
make
comics
another
anyway.
person
He's
Captain
Captain
America.
Yeah,
America.
but it doesn't matter. It's still fine because it's fine. You can change that up. Because at the end of the day, people that moan about Captain America being black are just racist. And that's where
Yes.
me and Tom are not coming from.
No,
But it's
exactly.
a historical character. Like, okay, Sandman, I'm not happy Death is black. It should be a white goth. I'm sorry. Sorry. You can change any other character, but that has to be a white character. I'm sorry.
I don't know enough about that one to have an opinion, but
Yeah, but the cosplay is
Yeah,
goth.
me either. I don't really know too much about Sandman, really. I had the book, but I
But,
never really
but the
read it.
character is a famous character from the show, and it's always been a white goth, and it should be a white goth. There are plenty of roles for other black people to take on that show. But
The thing is, if it's like something that's proper mainstream, it's like literally to do with their character as well. Sometimes the color matters with the character as well. Sometimes,
yeah,
so if
no,
it makes sense in that regard, then yeah.
But everything else in the casting is great. It's a great mix of people. It's great. But there was a bit of a backlash against Death being black, and I was like, I can see that a little bit, but it's fine. That's okay because it's not a historical figure, like Tom
yeah,
said.
it's
I think you can
yeah.
get away with it.
Yeah, stuff like fantasy and sci-fi stuff like that, you can mess around with it. You can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, Pepper.
But when you're
I
talking
would-
about historical figures,
but I would have liked her to be goth white. But the actress is a great pick. That's cool. But historical figures, I'm not being silly. Bridgerton, hello. Bridgerton is a fantasy, for example. That's fine. But Bridgerton is what a beautiful cast. But it's a fantasy. It's not based on any historical figures. It works because it's fantasy. But when it's a historical figure, you cannot flip the color.
I mean, my problem isn't so much that you cannot flip the color. Well, it is, but it's the fact that if it was done the other way, it would be
it'd be
a
a
major
problem,
issue.
Yeah.
I don't mind if you change things, but it has to be the same rule for everybody. It can't
All I'm
be.
saying is, if you changed Black Panther to White Panther, they would be
Ooh, you don't want to go there with that.
Oh yeah.
No. I'm not saying we should. It's Black Panther's Black Panther. Black Panther is Black Panther. He's an important character, right? I wouldn't change Black Panther, right?
Because the thing is, his whole character is based in Africa. So
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, but can you see the point of like
that's what I'm saying. It'd be a massive problem.
Yeah.
But we're at the point now where I think being white is a problem. Especially, I mean, me and Tom are also white men. We're not even women, so like we're even more down the line of things now. Everything gets blamed on us by white women as well.
We're also both straight white men. So
Well, I'm bisexual.
Yeah,
but,
that straight side a bit of a problem.
But I identify more straight than gay. But like you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, like I kind of feel like it's got to the point now where we can't just enjoy a casting anymore. And I would like people to stop cancelling and going after people. Like having He-Man be replaced by a woman, for example, is not a big problem, right? So I want to talk about how cancel culture has gone too far. Now everything gets cancel culture. Everything is getting under the microscope now. It's ridiculous. So He-Man is replaced by a woman. Fine. That's
a fantasy thing. I can live with that.
Yeah, but that's like Doctor Who. Fine, you changed it. Fine, we go with it. It's fine. Like, but I think now fans just don't give things a chance, and I don't think you should gender flip every fucking thing on TV.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with you, Ben. But I genuinely think we should leave it there. Otherwise, we're going to get ourselves into.
No, we're not going to get ourselves into trouble because we're having a really good conversation about it.
We are, but some people are just going to hear the first line of this and think that we are being
a problem.
Well, let me tell you something very quickly. I know a lot of people online who are black have also said they would like more original black characters, and they feel like taking all the white characters and turning them black is not the way forward. It should be original characters. So I'm not saying there's a lot of people saying we can give people the white characters but make new black characters to go with them. That's fine. So it's a very complicated subject, and we're not taking sides. I can see all the sides, and I think the racial equality going forward is something.
Yeah.
What's that noise? Hello?
Yeah.
Who's that?
That is not me.
Okay, it's gone. No, but yeah, so just be nice to each other. That's all I'm saying. Because
the thing is, the thing you brought up, which are like the color swapping. For me, a big problem is along the same kind of vein. You got the gender swapping and the sexuality swapping. I hate that stuff.
Yeah,
I hate it. Passion that kills me. Like, have you heard about recently that Robin apparently is bisexual? I'm like, huh?
Who?
All those years of comics, you're telling me he's bisexual apparently out of nowhere. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
I don't like how they course corrected. Like, for example, I know I've battered this into the ground, but where the way the BBC are doing things, I'm not a fan of, like with Doctor Who, and I know people are going to come at me about that, but they made it they obviously are ashamed that they're all men, and they've gone too far with how obvious they are trying to change it all up with color, everyone of every color, and I think that's more insulting to people of color because it feels like you're railing it in too much. Like you're making it very obviously that you're trying to show like you're sorry. You know what I mean? Like they're ashamed of all the white doctors. Like there's a way to do it.
I knew it was gonna be a problem anyways. But when she got cast, I knew it was gonna be a problem. So
no, but it's the way they did. All right, Chinese boy, Chinese girl, bang. Right, Middle Eastern boy, Middle Eastern girl, bang. Black boy, black girl, bang. Like they showed all the different ethnics of the backgrounds just to make sure they ticked every box. And I thought that's not cool. You've completely destroyed the mythos of Doctor Who. Sometimes it can be done really badly, like retroactively changing the past. It's a dodgy thing to do. Like build the future. You know, have a rainbow, have a gay doctor who's bisexual, whatever. In the next one with rainbow flag coming out of his cape. I don't care. That's the future you're building. That's fine. Just don't change the past, like Tom said, because it's a problem.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm kind of sorry.
I don't think we're getting into trouble for that. I think we've had a very balanced conversation about
Oh yeah, I don't think we've been unbalanced. I don't think we've been unfair. But yeah,
I don't think we get in trouble because as a man myself, I've praised RuPaul, Pose, very heavily during my time on this podcast. So you do know that we are not.
Yeah, no, they're gonna accuse you of that.
And the good thing about Troy is we can have that conversation with all three of us. Don't we need to sort out that noise?
Yeah, the aliens are coming for us.
They're coming for you.
Close up shop.
Hold on. Is it stopped? It stopped. Cool. Lovely. So before the aliens put stuff in our asses like South Park, I think we should call it a day. Thank you for that email, Abraham.
I like it. That was a great email, Abraham.
Was it Abraham? It was Abraham.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your email. Great talking points. It's good to have more serious conversations as well sometimes about things. And
yeah, it's just like just general like questions. You know what I mean, I don't mind answering.
Yeah, but we can have these conversations on this podcast now, and just we're not going to take any sides. We will look at all the aspects of it and just kind of, yeah, okay. So no one's trying to set anyone up this week. That's good. Right. Okay. So where can they get their mail to?
Square Eyes Syndrome Podcast at gmail.com.
Or bengilman90@gmail.com because you seem to ignore Tom. I don't know why, you bastards. I'm on
email, damn it.
I've got a YouTube channel. It's not used. It's MegaBenny666.
Yeah, Legend of Old 101. That's my YouTube channel. If you want to go check me out, pop culture stuff, and lag out.
Sorry, hold on. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, we've got House of Animation each week. This week will be Wally. And we talk about how a film, one of the best romances ever with hardly any conversation. It's brilliant. So please look forward to that. It's a great film. And we've also got Coco the week after.
Coco love.
Because we scheduled it wrong. So it's back-to-back Pixar, but that's okay.
Don't forget to mention Sherlock.
Also, Tara's channel is also, she's part of the podcast. Yes. Chloe's channel is just put in Chloe's channel. That's Tara. It's in the description there. So she's going to most probably be back the week after. We're going to try and have her and Tom and me and Troy all together in the same thing each week. We're going to try and make it work. Because she's been promoted to full time now. So we're not losing anyone. There's 3 T's, the titties, Tara, Troy, and Tom. Lovely. We've got a Facebook group. Yeah, the 3 titties. That's titties. Lovely. We've got a Facebook group up to 39 people. Please don't, as I said last week, please do not draw any more men genitals, or just draw hairy, sexy men for Tom, and maybe a woman, a witchy woman for Troy.
Oh, yes, witchy women are welcome. Thank you, guys. They're welcome.
Put your art to good things. You can draw a penis of Tom. It's fine.
Oi!
No, I'm joking.
Oh my god! You know when they do that, they're gonna do it now.
Yeah, you do realise you've now given everybody in that forum carte blanche to send dick pics like the next week.
Well, this is what happens when you go missing for 10 weeks.
This guy.
Lovely. All right, so we have things to announce in a couple of weeks. We're not going to do it now because we're not quite too sure of the timing.
Yep.
So we're gonna do that in a couple of weeks. But we can confirm Sherlock will be our next special in 2 weeks.
Woohoo!
After another normal special next week. So that will be fun, won't it? So cool. That's it. We're done. So it's goodbye from me.
Bye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Yes, it was the darkest day. It was a good day. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this.